Welcome, I'm Lloyd, and this is the Dressing Gown Diary review of round 4 and preview of round 5. Round 5, of course, is Super Saturday. What a weekend of rugby we've got ahead of us. But let's fire straight in with the review show. Round 4 saw yet more upsets against the handicap. 2 of them, with France stumbling in Scotland and then Italy securing their first victory against England in Rome. Let's fire straight in. So Friday night started with Wales visiting Dublin. Wales, again, heroic in defence, but not quite enough. But this game, however, did produce a moment of absolute brilliance and magic that we will reflect on for years. It had a dummy, a fend, the gas, and then the finger pointer. Rhys Carey scored one of the great tries. It's not what you expect from a prop, handing off a winger and scoring what was a magnificent try. He will be talked about forever. That guy will never need to buy a pint in Wales ever again after scoring that. It was a spirited display from Wales, as I said, but unfortunately couldn't come up with the trumps. Ireland just showed enough verve. Probably a bit unlucky with some of the decisions early on. It looked like the second try maybe was scored. Would have been a very different game if that had happened. It's still Wales can take some comfort from it, but Ireland still move on to the Triple Crown in this weekend's game. Scotland-France shared 90 points. What a performance from both teams in terms of entertainment and value. It's the first time since 2016 that both tier one teams have scored 40 plus points. It was entertainment all over the park. What was quite interesting as well is this is going to come down to points difference of whether Scotland can potentially beat France to the title. So they had a 33-point lead in the 65th minute. They were leading 47-14. And then France opened up, scored a load of points to close the gap to 50-40. Will that be important come Saturday evening when we finish in Paris? Well, only time will tell. The current gap is 58. If Scotland had managed to keep it the same, it would have been 13. And you think a 13-point swing is probably doable. Darcy Graham became Scotland's biggest point scorer as well, try scorer, moving to 37 ahead of Dwan van der Merwe. So a lot to focus on. A great Scottish performance, the most points they've ever scored against France. Brilliant victory. You can't take anything away from that. The final game of the weekend saw Rome, Italy. The Italians finally securing their first win against England. They've had so many close chances in Rome, but this time they were able to get over the line. Brilliant play late on. The lineup, so many question marks over England's lineup. We'll get into that in the next game. But Monty Ioane with a step and go, releasing Menoncello, and then scoring Marion scoring what was the winning try. England head in hands, not knowing what to do. Borthwick under enormous pressure. Many of my friends and Dressing Gown Diary fans have spoken to me in confidence, so I'll share it with you, obviously, that they are very concerned about England's game approach and whether this is the way forward, and actually hoped for a loss in Rome and a spanking in Paris so that surely Borthwick has no room for manoeuvring and is sent home. So Super Saturday kicks us off. Ireland hosting Scotland in the Triple Crown showdown at a 2:10 kickoff. Both teams are still in it, and they're both in with a chance still of the title. Ireland need more results to go their way. They would need to see England win against France. Ultimately, Scotland just need to better France's result. By that I mean a bonus point win against Scotland, bonus point win against Ireland. They would then be in a position that as long as England could hold France to not a bonus point win, that could be it. So Scotland hoping beyond hope that they may be in the shake-up, but this could be their first Triple Crown since 1990. It could be their first win against Ireland since 2017. And the outside chance their first title since 1999. Now, the Welsh fans out there will know why that's important. It was a game that took place between Wales and England at Wembley. Scott Gibbs scored one of the greatest tries. the Six Nations, well, it was Five Nations back there, has ever seen. The show and go, the shimmy under the post, kick for the win. England yet again blew an opportunity of a Grand Slam, and that win meant that Scotland actually secured the title in 1990. So Southers always appreciates that one. Ireland looking for 11 wins on the bounce against Scotland. They've really had the wood on them. Can Scotland step up? Well, it's their kind of bigger, older, stronger cousins. This is a real test. But they have got attacking threat. Steyn is now he's leading the defenders beaten stat with 21. Clearly, Kinghorn as well at 15 can offer attacking threat with loose kicks. It should be interesting to see how that game progresses, whether it's tight again and Ireland try and suffocate the game. Scotland will probably want it to be more open, so be interesting to see how that really kicks off. The second game of the weekend sees Wales against Italy, which of course I did predict was going to be the wooden spoon playoff game, but Italy have gone ahead and gone 2 wins, so it's not anymore. That kicks off at 16:40. There is a way that Wales can avoid the wooden spoon. They need 2 results. They need to win by 50 clear points and England to lose by 50 clear points. I mean, certainly possible. England could get pummeled, but I'm not sure Wales have got it in them to put 50 against Italy. Certainly an Italian side that have only conceded 86 points so far, second only to France, who conceded 84, of which 50 of those were obviously last weekend. So Wales will be looking, I suppose it's building from where they have been. They've been poor previously, 15 losses on the bounce, 3rd successive wooden spoon in their hands. Can they find a way forward? Italy looking for a hat-trick of wins in Cardiff, which obviously will be a great achievement for them. And also the first time in the Six Nations they will have secured 3 wins. So there's, while on the outside it looks like there's nothing to play for, there's clearly pride and those stats I've just mentioned. So the final game of the weekend, which was scheduled by all England fans to be a Grand Slam decider in Paris, is really now about whether Steve Borthwick can keep his job. It's become important for that reason, not for the Grand Slam. England have 3 straight losses. It's the first time since 2018. They've never, ever in the Six Nations had four losses. Could this be the first time? England are dull with the ball. It's 3 phases and then kick. Now, the kicking strategy as well that England seem to have adopted, here's a stat for you. They've only actually retained the ball in 20% of those kicks. So it's a 1 in 5. Like, what are you doing? You're just giving the ball away. I think teams are now accepting the ball and going, well, fine, you kick it away. You can't score without it. There's clearly question marks over England's attacking threat as well. They've made second most entries to the 22, but they can't turn it into points. They can't get over the white line. France take 3.3 points, 3.3 points every visit to the 22. England are only at 2, and that's one of the reasons they're really struggling. The rest of the stats are actually pretty strong for England in terms of tackles made and breaking and dominant tackles, but the one that really counts is the scoreboard, and they just can't get the points onto it. England have only made 1 change. They brought Chesham in, so rolling the dice. I mean, is this Borthwick's last game as England coach? Are they going to try and play differently? France will want to finish this tournament in style. They'll want to put one over England. And it'll be interesting to see whether England can find a way. So, Freddie's flutter for the final weekend. We're going to have to do it. We are backing the Dragon to secure the massive win against Italy. So you can actually get Wales on about 4.5 points. We're going to go for it. That is Freddie's flutter. For those of you that have got any money left after following my brother's tip sheet at Cheltenham, to be fair, if you followed it, he actually did quite well on a number of days and number of things. But look, this is the Dressing Gown Diary. Enjoy Super Saturday. I'm aware of a number of people who have long bookings. The El Patron, Earl Jennings and the Maymonator have something booked in Warwick. So if you're in that neck of the woods, look for them in the Coffee Tavern. They'll be the ones supping Lucky Saint because they're getting middle-aged. Anyway, over and out. Enjoy your weekend.